Hi everybody, welcome back to Materia D&D, session 107, part 3. The Menagerie have met with Scoot, the uh, the proprietor of the Dusty Pick, and with their contact Liam that they rescued in the evening prior, managed to get their way through the internal gem arch into the Tipara Flats, Tipara Shelf, where the wealthy reside, and made it easy for them to access the entries to the mines. Uh, Going into the mines, where many of Scoot's associates were traveling in, and let's just say heading to the right, they turned to the left and followed Willem down the path that was leading to the recently reopened portion known as the uncovered portion of the mine that was caved in centuries ago. Uh, Upon the way there, they ran into a human that had their hand injured, and they saw three of his companions chasing a pack of kobolds away. Davis attended to his wounds and noticed that it was bite marks. Then they ventured forward, uh, kind of looking through and seeing that there was just general chaos and disheveledness in the beginning of the uncovered area. But then further, as they got in, the group seemed to be more organized. There was individuals that were being protected by sellswords and hired hands. And they ventured to a point where they heard a familiar voice call out in pain, and it was Grim, one of Willem's brothers, whose arm was bitten and mauled. Uh, Again, attending to his wounds and investigating it, it does look like it was bite marks, and there was like this sticky, adhesive saliva uh, on his wound, and as well as on the pickaxe that he was using. Eventually, Karos kind of sussed something out and began to shave part of the pickaxe, where the pickaxe itself animated and rows of teeth and a slavering tongue came out and bit him on the foot, and then tried to adhere itself to the wall and seemingly crawl away, but quickly with the same hand axe that he was carving it, he just cut it in two, causing it to liquefy upon death. Dragnar ran to the front, kind of checking out, trying to see if he could spot any blood or any other markings along that line. The only things he really found was the blood from the human that was bit earlier, and the rest of the group continued further down, where they passed about another half a dozen crews or so working under the guise of inspectors for the investigating the sabotage and inspecting people's tools. They did fairly well in convincing the people to let them see their tools and inspect them and check them out. Um, and everything seemed to meet the, not animate or turn into mimics and attack people. And in the very last two groups were being guarded by three people that addressed themselves as working for Lady Estra. Um, and she provided them their tools. They checked out the tools. It seemed like everything was okay. Uh, the group gathered themselves back together, uh, leaving the uncovered area, heading back through the tunnels, and making their way out through the entries back into the open area outside of the Snoring Mountain mines, and they're searching for the tents where Grim was taken by his brothers to have his injuries addressed. So you guys step out of the mines through the entries. You see that some people are walking in with basically the same attire as you saw the people working over at Scoots, so likely more of his people to collect soil and rich minerals and mineral rich dirt and everything. So how are you guys going about?
Looking for group.
Okay.
And or actually looking for any of the brothers.
Gotcha. As you guys
What
have
about that healer too?
Yeah, Kagita.
Kagita at the tents. So you guys are looking for the tents. As you have never been to the tents and you don't know them, I need people to try to suss out where they are. So how are you guys going to try to find the tents?
Would
I'm
assume they're near the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably be like the laborers coming in and out of
I'll just
the
ask.
cavern. They probably going towards mostly the tents. We'll see where the general populace is going towards.
I'll just literally ask anybody who's walking in, be like, "Hey, a friend of mine got hurt and had to go to the tents, but I'm new. I don't know where they're located. Kagita, where they would treat injuries. Do you know where that would be?"
Oh yeah, you're good. You see the path to the main road?
Uh huh.
Follow it. Don't go beyond the wall. She's on the left-hand side.
Left hand.
You'll see there's a series of tents.
Okay.
She's been there since forever.
Perfect. I'm sure I'll be able to find him. Thanks, sir.
Hmm. As a group kind of traveling down, you do see traveling down the the
Where you said
the
to go
pave.
left, I go right. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You
Got
fall into a sulfur pit and die. Uh, yeah, no. You do see that aptly named the tents. There are just tents.
Yeah, they're really good at naming things here. There's the entries and there's the tents. I mean,
Yeah, right.
like,
It's like
Brilliant.
you keep it simple, right?
Right.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Except for the bar.
yeah, the bar is a lie and a half.
But yeah, there's a about a little bit more than half a dozen white to tan cloth tents set up. They have the symbolage on the tops of them, kind of indicating that it is a place of healing, and there seems to be you know no one stopping you from entering. So as you guys head down and announce yourselves and like kind of look for uh, some of the brothers, Gritmeyer, you do see Palmer, the twin brother, kind of standing outside one of the tents with his arms kind of crossed, looking down. And then he sees you guys and kind of, hey,
Hey, how's he doing?
hey, I. Yeah, his arm's pretty bad. Thanks for tending to it. Apparently, it's not the first time they've seen something like this recently. Oh,
Yeah,
a
about
lot of
that.
people were pointing to the little guys, saying,
Something tells me it's not them. At least, not his injury. Maybe some of those others are, but
speaking,
we found something really weird. I don't know quite how to explain it, so I'm just gonna look at my companions and be like,
Carlos will hand him the piece of tooth. Be like, this is all that's left of the hand axe your brother was using, or the pickaxe your brother was using.
I don't get it.
Yeah, we don't
Frankly,
really
neither do
either.
we.
This is a tooth. That thing was a metal pickaxe.
it was.
Was
At least that's what it looked like.
till it started biting people.
So let me introduce you to the concept of spooky magic shit. There's things in this world that just don't make sense. You try to think of ways to make sense of they don't. Stop trying.
Yeah, we're kind of becoming experts in magic shit.
Spooky magicology.
We were
You're
trying to
fucking
figure out.
with me, right? Like, haha, he, trying to make light of the situation.
No. Who had the vial of the spit?
Dragnar.
Dragnar. Alright.
Is your foot still injured as well?
Yeah, I'll show him the. This is where I pulled that tooth out of, as I was. There was some slime on your brother's pick. We didn't know if it was.
Yeah, there
what
was
it
some on
was.
his arm too.
Yeah,
I
so
was
it's on
like,
his
is this some
hand.
kind of joke?
As I
Oh,
was
shit.
scraping it and some of the wood off, it grew a mouth. And my foot, as you can see, that's where I got the tooth. It broke off. Things can die. Things can get. I chopped it in half. And then
But it became like,
melted?
goo and just. Ugh.
You're
We've seen
telling-
some weird shit, but none of us have seen anything like this before.
Right. Okay. Um, yeah, we can come in and see Grim, I guess. I guess we'll have to. What are you gonna do?
Well, so we warned a lot of folks that they should be careful with their tools. They should make sure
They
nothing's
aren't leaving
tampering with them.
unattended.
I
But
mean,
it sounds like they're not, like these are being provided by Lady Estrus. Is that the name that I heard?
no,
Where did your
he's
brother
one.
get his yeah?
Yeah.
I think he just found it around the area and swapped his for this one.
What was wrong with this? Why would he do that?
It's old, rusted through.
Oh, well, at least it wasn't
Perfectly
alive.
good. Yeah, it's still really hard. And Lady Estra, you said? Sorry, that's hard for me to understand. But Lady Estra, she's just one of the rich ladies in the
Oh, and as we know,
shelf.
rich people can never do anything wrong or bad.
No,
Well,
but like,
I think he's confused as to what your. We didn't tell him that the only reason we got her name from it is because we were asking some of the other mining groups
yeah, she's probably
where they got their.
sponsoring a few groups, right? Strike It Rich. She's saying she's
Adam,
behind this? I don't follow. I'm sorry. Yeah, what's up, Jay?
am I
Or,
back with the group? Did I
yeah,
meet back up with? Okay, I just
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
make sure that I was here.
You're
All of
right
you
here.
are together.
Oh, there he is. Show him the slime.
Well, I'm gonna kind of look at Karos and then kind of look at everybody else. Let's do some more investigation before we start naming people that may be involved.
I don't know if we know any people are involved.
Is there a good way to talk to kobolds around here? Is there somebody like a figurehead?
I mean,
Bring
we-
me to your leader of kobolds.
Yeah.
some of them are pretty friendly and some of them are really shy, but I mean, my brother
Yeah, it
and
sounds like
I,
they were open to being hired, right?
yeah, we see a fair number of them come
We
by
haven't
the
even
vault.
encountered one since we came here that even talked to us. So I don't even know if they even speak our language.
They do. They probably just don't recognize you yet.
They just generally keep to themselves.
Tend to be shy. Yeah. Well, I mean, they swing by Willem's workstation from time to time. They like it.
You mean that thing he calls a bar?
Yeah.
Adam, I'm gonna step outside the tents because I just got an uneasy feeling. I'm just gonna kind of look around to see if someone's eyeballing us because me hearing what they said now, I know what they were doing. I just don't feel comfortable with all the knowledge that's being put out there.
Okay, you can give me a perception check as you're looking for someone just scouting you guys out or looking.
Oh, nice. 17 on the die, so 23.
You're trying to peer through and like look for people following you. Doesn't seem like you guys were being trailed or anything, but if something comes up, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll like eventually you guys will kind of sync up with the four brothers. Grim has his arm, heavily bandaged and kept kind of close for the time being. He looks at you and says, "Hey, thanks for the initial. Like, I didn't realize how bad that was. You guys are great. You guys are great. Thanks." And Palmer was gonna say, "So, apparently these guys are saying that your pickaxe did that to you, bro."
That makes sense, doesn't it? As much as anything makes sense.
What do you?
I think
Huh?
I think what we're trying to say is don't pick up any strange pickaxes that you didn't bring with you for the time being till
In
this
fact-
gets figured out.
Don't pick up anything. You don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it's a good point. We saw the one look like a pickaxe. We don't know what else they can look like either. They could be anything.
Could be the
If
chair
there's-
you're sitting on right now.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Or this table? Table.
I thought you were gonna
Alright,
like minor illusion some shit or something.
yeah.
Oh, no.
And then I cast Phantasmal Force and he sees the table eating him.
Um, Willem will kind of speak up as the eldest of the brothers, and say, "You're telling me that my brother was bitten by his pickaxe?"
Well, it wasn't a pickaxe, but yes.
It looked like a pickaxe, but it had teeth and a big tongue, and it
Goo.
ruled.
So like a
Yeah.
shape changer or something?
I
Oh, what?
guess.
Like something that, I mean,
Oh, shape changer. Sorry, I
Shape changer.
just literally didn't hear.
oh, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'll point at Rock. He tried. At first, we were just checking where you were mining in case there was some sort of, something caustic or dangerous or off with the rock itself, and he picked with the thing for about 5 minutes. It didn't do anything while we were all standing around watching it. It wasn't until I tried to shave some of the wood off the handle to see if I could figure out why all that slime was around where your hand was, and it just
Defended itself.
took a bite out.
That is,
Terrifying, right?
that's some messed up stuff. Who knows? No one knows, right?
There may have been whispers of your tools are not to be trusted in the mines.
Well, I'm wondering if all these people who thought that there was sabotage going around have just been fallen to the same things. We don't know how many of these are out there.
I guess really quick out of character, that first guy that I treated did not look the same as Grim, right? Like it was just
Not
a
nearly
bite.
as. Not, yeah. The Grimm's looked like it was.
Like it legitimately could have been a kobold bite, by my best. Or were there like too many?
No,
teeth?
I will say now that you've seen the bite, it just looks like it was a single bite.
Gotcha.
Where
Instead
Grimm's
of
was
being
probably
mauled.
like this thing, like it just happened to open up and just like the entirety of the pickaxe
Yeah.
chopped down.
Okay. So the first guy
Like
was
he may have had
similar,
a smaller
just less
tool or
severe.
something. Yeah.
Got it.
Like now that you see like the type of puncture wound that it was and that little, like there's no way that we're gonna say like a dice-sized hole, right, would come from a kobold.
Kobold, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So it's like, and then you'll see Smiley, the one with the golden hair, just slap the back of his brother's head and say, "I told you not to touch other people's shit." Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Now we know. We just not to trust anything.
So what are we gonna? Who do we tell? Like, what do we do?
Move
Who the
far away
frick
as
brought
far as you
these
can.
things here? Or have they? And then Willem will kind of speak up and say, I mean, what if they've always been there?
That's what I said. What if they just lived here and invaded their territory? We should just leave them alone.
So, humor me for a second for the history of this place. So, a long time ago, gems forever, billions of people mining gems, like gems nonstop, right? And then supposedly they couldn't find them anymore. But could it be the case that they were just attacks and it scared people from mining, and then like history's wrong?
I mean, we could ask someone that's been here that long.
Has Scoot's been here that long?
Scoot's been here that long.
Whoa. Sure.
He may know,
He seems pretty bright. He may know of the kind of thing we're talking about.
or he may be covering something up. 'Cause he has
Insight
no
check on
interest.
that. I'm curious as to why he specifically brings that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
That seems awfully weird to specifically say. So insight is, oh god, 10.
No, it just seems like he's just pulling at strings right now. He's just kind of still just shocked at the fact that
You think he'd cover stuff up? Seemed pretty.
no, I don't think so. He
Yeah, he
really
seems to
cares
just
about
kind of
things,
whatever makes the
but
most sense. He just kind of goes with.
I mean, Scoot was here at least before that portion of the mine was collapsed
Okay.
or collapsed. Sorry.
I'll look to the rest of the group. What do you think?
I mean, I think we should. I know that this isn't a super organized operation, but I feel like some kind of word needs to get out.
Yeah.
You know, we warned some people in very vague ways to keep an eye out for stuff, and that might work for most people, but somebody always stays late or goes to the bathroom and doesn't ask somebody to look at their stuff. These things are not just imitating, but if they are crafty, trying to put themselves in places where they'll be found and used.
Hey, Gritmires, has anybody gone missing? Like, not just injured, but just, like, gone missing? Can't find them. No signs of anything. Just gone.
I mean, we've heard of people that worked the night and then didn't show up the next day, but we just figured they gave up and left Carver.
Like,
Figured,
just a couple of stories like that, or, like, noticeably quite a few?
that we know about, maybe about 3 people
In the
in the
last couple months?
last month or so.
That
But
seems
people
kind of high,
leave
doesn't
this
it?
hellhole.
You think?
No, I mean, it might be high, but we just thought there's just people leaving. They one last chance to get something, then their
So there's been
spirits are
nobody
crushed
here
again.
that's, like, been well known, has no reason to leave, that disappeared, anything like that?
No, why would they be working the mine if they're well known?
Well, okay, maybe not well known, but, had some roots here. Nobody that suspiciously disappeared, I guess. It seems like everybody you're talking about is like, maybe they just fucked off.
Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. Like,
No, I don't want that to be the case. I'm just checking.
there's really, this place is just filled with some people down on their luck.
Okay, I hear you.
People from the shelf ain't gonna be going into the mines. They can hire people to go there. So, I got nothing. At that point, you'll hear, like when you have like when you're at the hospital, you have the little curtains that separate people. You'll hear that kind of sound. And yeah, thank you. And before you, you'll see
Nice.
dressed in like what you would kind of consider healer's clothing, so simple white cloth, white and light colored cloth clothing, some pouches and satchels that likely hold some implements, some herbs, some medicine, some bandages.
So it's a more
Um,
natural healer, not like a holy type healer.
yeah, more of the natural
Gotcha.
style. You see before you a female shifter. She seems to have some feral features about her.
It's Leslie's
Very,
sister.
huh?
It's Leslie's sister.
Yeah, no, not
Because
tiny
he was
legs.
the
Big
shifter, I
arms.
think, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. More on her fur is of blacks and oranges. Seems to have almost like vulpine-like features. Says, "Oh, seems you people were worried about you. Nasty injury. Not entirely sure how he got so many puncture wounds, but he's not going to lose the arm. That's a concern.
How tall is she?
Uh, let's see. How tall is she? Rolled an extra. She's pretty tall. She's about 6 foot. Um,
I take it you're the healer in this, I wouldn't say establishment, outpost?
might.
I don't know.
yes. I'm sorry. Introductions. I'm Kagita. They my family has owned the tents for a very long time. Uh, we are here to tend the miners sick and injured. Uh, may I ask, is someone amongst you injured, or are you just here to check on uh, Mr. Grimm over here?
My name is Sej, and I'm honored.
Pleasure to meet you, said. You don't look like the mining type. Are you a sponsor? Were you his sponsor? Are you worried?
No, wait, what were we doing here?
She just kind of like grins, kind of like,
Oh, anyways, do you, do you mind if we chat? Are you busy right now? I imagine you're probably busy.
I mean, right now, immediately, no. I came to check on him and the other individual. I got one other individual with a hand injury, and then a few with
No,
some.
we mean to talk to you. And I, like, point to the rest of the guys.
Um, about what?
Well, curious things are happening, and it could be, I don't know, is there, like, an uptick of serious injuries lately? Because something odd is going on.
Uh, there seemed to be some uh odd injuries occurring. Yeah, out of the uncovered portion. We also get, the typical people getting
I have a
inhaling too much dust and falling ill.
I have a question for you, Miss. You seem very skilled with probably like salves and ointments and unguents and things like that you apply. Have you noticed any of the people that have come to you with these strange, similar injuries to our friend Grim here? Have they had any sort of substance that seemed a little weird and maybe something out that you haven't seen before?
Organic.
Um,
Yeah, kind of a slimy, gooey sort of. It would almost
some of
seem like.
them have. I figured it might have been. Okay, so have you seen what has caused this?
Well,
I'm
I dressed
curious.
his wound here before he came out. I noticed that, and I was curious if you'd seen anything like that.
Um, I've seen a few of the injuries for sure. Um, mostly I have a hard time. Sorry, I must ask. Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm
Uh,
Davis. I'm with my friend Sej here. We're all working with Scoot and the Dusty Pick on the uncovered portion. We were doing some exploratory work for him.
you'll hear kind of some rummaging, and Williams will pull out the parchment. They're with me. And she looks it over. He's like, "Oh, okay. Just checking. New faces. Um,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, no." And she kind of steps in a little bit more and, well, kind of closes the curtain behind her. Uh, yeah, I thought maybe I needed some more proof or something.
A proof, so you have
People
an
were
idea
saying
of what you might think that
I
this
have
is?
no idea what it is, but people were saying sabotage, and
Hmm. But
I
sabotage in a way that.
understand.
I'm guessing you think it's a
Beast,
some sort of
maybe?
living creature. Yeah.
I figure they disturbed some sort of nest, maybe, of some animal or something that was had a home.
Have you
I
heard of
don't know.
anything like that around here that would live in the mines like that?
I'm not an ecologist. I'm not a. I don't know. mean, there's all manner of creatures that live in caves, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Undisturbed, who knows what happens? I figured it was just some people were pointing to our little scaled friends, but the injuries I saw were just too severe on some people.
Yeah, I agree. When I saw Grims, it would have taken like 20 of them to do something like that.
I don't think one could ever make a puncture wound like that, sort of maybe with a spear.
Right, and all in the matter of a blink of an eye, it seems. Because we actually heard, more or less, it happen, and then within seconds we were there, and his arm was already torn up.
Um,
Not a single kobold nearby.
Exactly.
uh, doesn't surprise me. And Grim will say, "Ah, he's the one that wrapped up my arm. Actually, Kagita." He's like, "That's not good job. He's not the bleeding."
I
Uh,
know the important parts, just enough to get him to the real experts.
yeah. Well, good. I'm not going completely crazy. Um, I thought maybe some sort of subterranean insect or cavern creeper or something along the lines was disturbed,
Hmm.
and I haven't been able to find proof.
Who would be around here that might know of such creatures or things?
Um, I would imagine maybe some of the more experienced miners, maybe some of the informants and sellswords for the people of the shelf.
I hate to
Uh,
ask, but I don't
Root,
suppose you
maybe?
have, like a college or anything like that around here that might have,
Oh
the
no,
really smart
this place.
people with books and.
No, I'm sorry, this place is
Oh no, that's fine. That's
nothing like
perfect.
that.
Good to know.
Nothing like that. Um,
Carlos will
so
kind of look at him like, really? There just might be a hidden college between the various hovels. I guess there was rich people.
I mean, there was a
around.
bar with in a building with no roof. Psych.
Willem will say, "There's a roof. It's part of it missing, and the tree is working as a canopy, so it
Also,
technically
there's
has
not a
a
bar
roof."
there. But anyway.
There is a actual bar.
I mean, yeah, there's a physical bar there, but it's not. Let's go to the bar, you know.
Hey,
I'm
it
gonna
worked.
hand her the piece of tooth.
Uh, and she'll take it, and it's probably like the size of like the first two digits, of your finger. And she looks at it like, "That is nasty. What is it from?"
I think it's from what bit him, because it
So you
bit
didn't
me
see the
too.
creature, you just saw. Interesting.
It's funny you should say that. We did.
But you're likely to maybe not take our word for it. It's kind of an odd occurrence.
At least I hope it is.
And Palmer will just kind of butt in at this point. He's like, "It was the pickaxe. Apparently, the pickaxe bit my brother."
In a manner of speaking. A thing
Yeah,
that
pickaxe.
was a
What is a
pickaxe.
pickaxe? Are you talking? Is it some sort of creature? A pickaxe? No, no, no. Kagita, the tool.
Yeah, bing, clang, clang, clang hits the rock.
Oh, yeah. Well, what? How does a
What
pickaxe bite somebody?
whatever it was managed to both look and feel like a pickaxe. Both him and my associate here used it to actually, try picking into the wall. It wasn't until I tried to shave some of the handle off to see if I could figure out if the slime that was on the injuries was coming from the wood or was just stuck to it. And as I scraped some of it off, the axe suddenly wasn't an axe anymore. I mean, it sort of looked like it was still Imagine a nightmare axe, I guess. Something, an axe comes alive and gets teeth and a tongue, and
That sounds absolutely terrifying. I would have been just more happy knowing it was some sort of animal, but you're telling me it's some sort of something. Ah,
it's definitely something. We tested a few more tools on the way down. You know, just yeah. I
We scraped a bunch
tried
of stuff.
tried taking a torch to the pickaxe heads and things like that. We kind of asked under the guise of the sabotage that's been going around, but no reactions. Most others had said that they were their own tools, that they had tried to keep an eye on them. But if this is some sort of predatory creature that can change what it looks like to try to get closer to something that it wants to take a bite out of, I mean, we've only found one as a pickaxe, but it could be any simple tool, or who knows.
okay.
It's the only one I've ever seen, or even I haven't even heard of anything like this before. So
As you're kind of talking, you see that she's like maybe kind of nervously kind of rummaging through, a pocket or a pouch. She just can't seem to settle her hands and just, um, Willem, do you mind if I leave you to your brothers and have your friends accompany me for a moment? Willem just nods. Like, very well. Friends of Willem, please follow me. Saj and friends. And she'll kind of, move the curtain out of the way and walk, and she'll leave this tent and head over to a smaller tent that's amongst all the other ones, and say, please, to my office and my home, if you will. And she invites you in.
Be honored.
Um, so I thought these were just stories that were passed down from my grandparents to my parents and all of that, but apparently grandpapa, she's like, you see she's like looking at a shelf, like a shelf, trying to find something, and then she pulls an old, a metal, like a leather bound with a metal clasp book, unclasps it and kind of, opens it, and she starts looking. um we've My family's been here healing for centuries. There it is. uh, I I never understood what was put in this passage, but father or grandpapa mentioned treating someone who was impaled by a chair, and another one of someone who lost their arm to a barrel.
I nervously stand up.
Um, and then as a child, I remember nighttime stories of, you know, being a good girl, or, the bed itself might swallow you up. Um, is this this is a concern? Perhaps what was actually happening so long ago was buried, and now we've uncovered it.
How long ago are these stories from? Is it
Uh,
2 or 3 generations?
More than that, but
Oh boy. And that's all from here in Carver.
a med. This is my great grandpappy's medical logs, his notes, his stories. I mean, some of his treatments and his remedies, though outdated, still my family's used and refined the various herbs and salves and Heck, minerals even from the mountain itself.
Does it say anything about detecting these creatures or figuring
I
out?
don't think they ever knew they were creatures. I think they just
Ah,
they were like stories. I don't know. Like I you maybe just made me realize that a nightmare story, a tale to make children behave, is actually real, and that these weren't just some misinterpretations of injuries. I figured someone losing their arm was being crushed by a barrel, not actually potentially ripped off.
So this doesn't happen every day.
As you say that, she kind of looks up from like a serious sound, smiles. No, I mean most injuries since I've been working here my entire life, are just, you know, broken bones or lacerations and cuts, but nothing, no one getting mauled or chewed upon. Uh, I don't. I might have to. This might need to be. This news might need to be spread and keep people from going
but I
into the.
mean, what do you tell people other than everything's out to get you?
We tell them there's a beast that's been awakened. That there's a cavern.
We did try to warn some people.
You warn them of something eating people. You said you were inspecting tools,
Right. We didn't overtly tell anyone that there was.
which is possibly for the best, right? No
You
panic.
know,
Well, I mean, not more than they already have in there, I guess. It's kind of a panic as it is.
At the very least, there's a lot of distrust, I imagine. I don't know about panic, but yeah, I don't actually know what we would tell. Even if we knew what the fuck we're dealing with, I wouldn't know how to warn people or what to say.
was there? Refresh my memory. This is me actually saying it, but Karos would need to know it to like question. But was the reason that people stopped going in there because it was like it dried up and they didn't think there was any stuff in there, or there was a collapse too, and that was kind of
Uh, the collapse had blocked that portion off for centuries, I believe. I don't know when the collapse happened, but rather than trying to get through it, they just went to other portions. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not a miner. My family's not involved. We just know tales and stories from the people we treat.
no, it's fine. I was just thinking if maybe somebody had an idea. I mean, it'd be a hard idea for others to believe that tools coming alive, but if they thought that they knew where these things were coming from, maybe the collapse wasn't an accident. Try to
Um,
keep them out or keep people away.
that's certainly. I wonder if we could. I don't know how we would find that out, but that's plausible. I mean, it makes sense. There hasn't been any of these type of injuries up until many, a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, and that's roughly when they unearthed the old collapsed portion.
Could
Is
be
there
that
any?
the
Go ahead.
I was just gonna make Lord of the Rings reference.
Too,
They dug
too
too
dark or
deep
too
and
deep. Yeah.
too greedily.
I mean, is there any way? There doesn't seem to be like a real authority here that could just say this is off limits, don't go. It seems like people think there's value in there, they're gonna go.
That's the problem with this mountain. You can't stop people from, trying to strike it rich.
Has anybody ever struck it rich here?
500 plus years ago, all the time. Where do you think the people of the shelf made their coin? Why do you think Carver in its old day was a gem amongst the different cities here? But in recent memory, no. You'll hear of a story in the last few weeks of someone finding maybe a jewel the size of their fist. That's far and few between. I mean, from what I hear, the real money is what Snoot's doing, taking the dirt, the soot, the waste, turning it into something profitable. Heck,
What's your opinion on kobolds?
as far as I'm concerned, they're just here trying to live amongst us. I mean, I have a few that assist me, and
They seem
they're
not generally liked by a lot of people.
yeah, they're small and they're weak, so I would assume they're easy to pick on.
Well, when a couple of incidents happened, they tried to blame it. It seemed they tried to blame it swiftly upon the kobolds, and just on a tangent, thinking it's probably pretty easy to do that. If somebody had a vested interest in running kobolds out, maybe they're trying to frame them, trying to get them out of the picture. The greed is I've seen such things happen with greed before. So
Hey, Kagita, uh, how well do you know the various groups? Because we've noticed that there's like various kind of like sponsored crews, if you will, going into that the uncovered portion. Is it mostly kind of groups with like patron sponsors like that, or is it largely individuals with just a few of those groups, or
I'm not sure exactly. I know that there are some of the people of the shelf that are sponsoring and hiring people
right?
to work it for them.
Do you know those
Uh,
groups kind of even a little bit? Like,
I am aware of them, and they know me because I tend to be the one that tends to all the injuries.
right? Does it seem like there might be a group that weirdly doesn't suffer from these injuries,
Um,
whereas the rest tend to suffer from them?
I would have to look at all those, maybe my notes of who I've treated. I can't.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who's the. Uh, I have a suspicion that if this is not just natural weird monsters rearing their heads, but rather something more calculated, that I always ask myself who's to gain from this, and if there was a way of basically discouraging everyone else but your group from going into that tunnel, then that would be one way to do it. So that's basically what I'm getting at.
It just seems a little elaborate, is all.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you're implying that they were using these weird creatures.
Yep.
But we just heard her say that she had stories from before the collapse, which happened centuries ago.
Yeah, that means those existed then, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what they're used for now, especially since there's been an uptick in the past, since this opened.
Yeah, we met trolls earlier. There were thousands. Maybe we're just in the land of the living pickaxe.
The land of the living pickaxe. I want to make that the episode title, but that kind of gives too much away.
Work bites.
I'm sorry I can't provide more information.
God damn it, that's good too. Fuck.
And that's really all I wanted to share. If I hear any information or if I get anything, I pursue, I can try to reach out to you. Um, what would be the best way to reach your group? Is it through Willem?
I guess. We didn't really have much designs on staying here for a long time, but I think we have a bit of an interest now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one mystery I'd like to see. It's so weird.
Well, that and our interests in the mountain kind of go into this as well. If we don't want to have that stuff running around as well, right?
I mean,
Especially
if
if
it's its
not
natural
bigger
habitat,
versions.
I don't know.
I don't think these things are natural in any way, but that's just me.
Something weird is afoot. I mean, to help the people, why not? We're here for a reason, and we're still here for the reason. So there's no reason to fret. Let's do it.
A lot of reasons. Well, that is what I had to share. So I I assure you, the Grimmeyer boy will be okay. Uh, thank you for initially helping him, and
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
yeah, if I glean any insight or any information from any of those that I may treat, I will do my best to pass it to uh, Willem to share with you, or at least one of his brothers.
I would say start checking who exactly is getting attacked and maybe whose interest they serve for. Just to, satisfy my interest if you could.
Indeed.
If it's only independent contractors or
Yeah, or certain crews.
Will do.
maybe if you interact with any of the miners, just maybe pass on that the only ones that seems to have been hurt so far are the ones who left their tools sitting around without keeping an eye on them or picked up tools that were there when they got there. It's not the whole truth, but should at least hopefully, unless they start openly attacking people, should at least keep people from picking up something that's going to take a bite out of them.
I'll see what word I'll be able to spread. Very well. So yeah, unless you guys don't have anything else to say with her, she will guide you guys back to the tent where the Gritmeyers are resting. They'll look at you and Willem.
Grim,
all
bad
you guys-
news. You're gonna lose the arm. She just showed us in her medical textbooks that that arm's gonna have to come off.
Deception check.
Okay. Oh, I've already used my bravura. Fuck. Actually, we never determined if I could use it myself. 22. Oh wait, deception. Dirty 20.
Just looks at it like, fuck.
Yeah.
This day is utter shit.
It probably feels like it's okay now, but it's set in and can't be helped. Sorry, bud.
Really? Just for
No,
grabbing
not really. I'm just fucking with you. You'll be fine.
you. Sure.
I mean, we can cut it off for you if you want.
It's true. But hey,
If only if I can cut off your arm. Your arm.
I'd love to see you try.
Wire.
No thanks.
Straight. There we go. Now you know how I feel. So I gotta keep the arm, right? Be fine.
If you're up to me.
No.
Don't really
I mean,
feel
yeah,
like
you could keep the arm.
Okay. So The three younger brothers are, kind of just um not so stern and serious of face, but then Willem. So how do we address this? I mean, I'm going to tell Scoot that there's no way we're going to survey that portion of the cave viable uh, resources for his operation.
It's
Too
probably
dangerous.
for the best. Yeah. I mean, the thing that we killed, I mean, it died in a single axe stroke, but
I mean, it's a pretty beefy X stroke. You're being a little modest there, bud.
I didn't want to gloat. But
You're basically a god.
what I'm trying to say is, even with the ferocity of my strike, I think even those other guards out there, a strike or two would take care of at least
Yeah, if
what
you're not
we faced up against.
if you're not maimed before you get it off, you know.
Right. The problem
It's
is, yeah,
Go ahead, sir.
if you're alone, or if there's more than one, or
Oh God.
if they come any bigger than that. This one took up a pickaxe, which sizable, but imagine if one was a mine cart.
Or a bed.
can-
That freaking story was about a bed.
It's true.
Two, Willem will say two thoughts. One, there are a lot of tools and carts down in there. Two, people could have taken those things out of the mines with them, right?
So I have an idea.
Taking them home.
We somewhat unintentionally planted the seed of there being an idea that tools need inspection. We could just sort of spread that rumor and say, hey, inspect your tools even at home, and just tell people to take a flame to the make sure. Just say there could be some faulty tools like soft metal that will never be able to chip back perfectly, that if you just apply heat will show wear and maybe melts immediately. Just some sort of white lie deception that will get people to try. But what I'm afraid of is if they find one that is bad and then it just attacks them. So
I would imagine not everyone is armed with
yeah.
an axe or whatever.
Although, get a few people to watch an axe come to life and skitter away up the wall. That'll spread the story better than what we could.
Wait, can these things skitter up walls?
Tried to.
That's what it was trying to before I jumped in there.
I don't like it.
Oh, now you don't like it.
Oh,
you wanted it to be.
Mr.
You wanted to be friends with it earlier.
I want to be my friend pet.
Yeah, I want to make my bag and my pickaxe friends.
Yeah, where is it? I don't like it.
Do not
mean-
want.
I didn't know it could skitter. It doesn't have legs.
It lashed its tongue out and adheses itself to the wall and was trying to scoot away, and then Karos chopped it in half.
Wow, that's even more horrifying. But they still, we maybe disturbed them. I don't know, but they're.
Oh, we
yeah.
definitely disturbed it, but I don't feel bad about that at all.
I mean, like I
We-
said before, if this was an instance of people stumbling across the nest and touching eggs or something like that, I'd understand. But these things are putting themselves in position to be found, to be grabbed, to be picked up. Like either
They're intentionally imitating man-made
they
things.
are putting themselves in a position to be where they can easily take a bite out of their targets. whether the intent is to eat them or just to scare and injure, as you said, like there has to be some even small intellect for them to recognize that this is a tool that they see creatures using, and so they'll make themselves look like it, but we don't know how smart they are.
Yeah, that's fair. Huh? We go from here.
Willem will pipe up. We go to Scoot. He's been here long. Maybe he knows something.
It's probably a best bet. Somebody who might have heard these stories or lived when the stories were made.
So
Indeed.
we go speak with Scoot. Is it already nighttime?
I doubt it.
No. Like, you guys got here morning to Scoots, then traveling, so it's probably like late morning, early afternoon at this point. No, it's early. It's early afternoon. Yeah. No, sorry. Go there, wake up, do breakfast, talk there, walk through the chair. That didn't take too long. You guys weren't in the mines really that long. Maybe a total maximum of 40 minutes. So it's still it's late morning right now. So you guys have plenty of time. Very well. You knuckleheads, watch over your brother. I'll report to Scoot, and then I'll yeah, see you home whenever you get out. If not, I'll bring you something to eat, brother. Willem will walk you guys, unless you have any objections, back through.
To Scoots.
Yep,
Scoots!
out of the tents,
We got a Scoot.
through, and then you guys will arrive to the large, nicely brick-laid, industrial-like building with the mounds of different types of sediments and dirts all around it. As you enter, stepping forward, Willem, still, you see that this is a detail I forgot to mention, but when he went to tents, Agita had kind of patched up his face a little bit just to try to help it.
Well, still ugly.
Yeah, and some time will pass, and then you guys will, um, he'll tell you guys to stay here. He'll walk up. He's gone for a little bit, seemingly discussing with Scoot something, and then Willem uh, kind of steps out of the office, waves to you guys, and signals for y'all to come back up. The people that are in the receptionist are kind of keeping you at bay. Say, all right, you're free to go see the boss. You head up the metal stairs into his office once again. And I think that's a good stopping place because it's 1 o'clock.